It's the blues. Like, I don't like it, but I know what I do the music for. Like, I know the kid inside my head that like makes music for a reason. And I also understand the blues, bro. The blues is not dope. Like, the blues is dudes that had the worst fucking lives. People love the blues, right? I'm Maky Lavender, and this is LOWKEY MTL.
Prochaine station.
LOWKEY MTL.
That song was never released, but that was one of my first stuff. Yeah, like I was very young, probably like 12.
What made you want to do music?
I danced at first.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I danced. I thought it was awesome. Apparently, like from what my parents said, I've been dancing since forever. Like I was a baby. I was one of those babies that they play music and they dance that you see on TikTok now.
Yeah.
I was one of those.
So you'd have been famous back in the days. With one viral video, bro.
Yo, nobody was filming kids in Montreal Nord, man. Like,
you grew up in Montreal Nord?
Well, the first 2 years of when I was baby, I was there, but then
Okay. And then you're in the West Island.
I moved again now. I was in Real Prairie.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. It's probably why you're always moving around, because like you're just so used to that.
Yeah. At this point, yeah, because I wasn't. Yeah, it's true. Because I know some people were born at Lakeshore, right? And then they go to school in the West.
Yeah.
And then they go to CJEP in the West. And they live in the West. I'm like, damn, like I didn't do that.
Yeah. Do you plan like your drops in a certain way? Because I know you're a one-man team. So like, is there like a plan you have, or do you just kind of do what you can since you have to kind of do everything?
Now I plan it.
Okay.
Now it's like it's too much stuff, so I plan it because it's long-term plans. Like it's by the time like I'm doing something else is being planned, but it's just something I planned months ago. Like, take this for example, like I'll plan like a shoot, but by the time the shoot happens, like 2-3 days before, I have like a million of things to do before that shoot. So by the time the shoot comes, well, I'm already planning something else, so I don't really care about the shoot that much anymore.
Right. But like, are you structuring your like release differently, like on different platforms, kind of thing?
Now I don't really respect the platforms. I use them for whatever. Like now Spotify is ridiculous. Like I think I dropped like so many. I think I have like 139 songs on Apple Music and Spotify. But there's some songs in there that I don't have that on SoundCloud. But there's some songs in there that are not SoundCloud that are Bandcamp. So,
yeah. So are you specifically doing that for a specific reason? That you're okay.
Yeah.
So are you catering your music differently for Spotify?
Yeah.
And like for SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Okay. So so when you're making a song, you're like, okay, this song is going to be put up on SoundCloud.
When I make a freestyle, that's a fact. That's usually that's for sure for SoundCloud. Sometimes the freestyles I do a bit too like vulgar, so then I have to take them down. But I let 130 people like listen to it, and then after I take it out.
Okay. Oh, and then you take it off.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because sometimes it's too disrespectful stuff I rap on freestyles.
Okay.
And I'm like, oof, this can't be like. Like I'm applying, like it's like hypocrite as fuck. Like I'll say some crazy shit about institutions or whatever, then send a nice little email talking back and forth about like business stuff. So then really I'm not trying to mess that up. So then sometimes I take it down.
Right. Okay. That's just being like the artist, but also having the business savviness too. You know, like that's the game though. You know.
You're right. It's the game.
So what else do you do since you're a one-man team? You do the music part. You do the promo.
Yeah.
And is it all through just like emails and DMs, like you going on shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, phone calls, type of shit you see a manager do. So I'm my own manager, like I'm my own production company. So literally I hired myself, and that point company creates a bunch of other companies. So it's like I'm an audio engineer by like with a diploma. I have
you went for school for that,
yeah. I have like that little diploma somewhere at the crib.
Right.
So that's what I do. So I'm the engineer of Maky Lavender, basically. And then I'm his sound person. Then I'm also his producer. And also, like, I own his name. Like, I own Maky Lavender. But my name is Maky Lavender. So it's kind of like I hired this artist, rapper that is myself that I hired. So everything that he needs to do, like if he needs to do a show, if he needs to promote that album, if he needs to update his website, if he needs to make new merch, it's all me. because I work for him.
How did that happen? Like, was it always like that, or what made you want to become a one-man team and do everything yourself?
I had to fire the entire staff. Like, like at first, I remember I tried with my friends and shit, but like they all had different things to do in life. Like you can't ask people who are not fully into arts to start giving up everything and helping with art. So they didn't do it, and then really like we had a company, the whole thing, the thing like got burnt. Like the company got dismantled, not even by me, by literally the paperwork now being right. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
But it's just like me, I was doing all of the work. And they were just not really that interested. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, it was just like everybody didn't have that same like tunnel vision focus, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I find really hard about building a team. Like just trying to find people that could like see that vision. But it's also really hard to get somebody else to see your vision, especially nowadays when like there's a lot of like Gary V's and stuff like saying like, "Oh, do your shit, do your own thing," you know?
Gary V. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's also why I feel like every like artist now wants to be independent and like do you feel like record labels are kind of dying out now?
For that reason, yeah, because a lot of times you just had to get your budget approved to like that person at the label, because like offices. It's like banks, they have money and they're just doing grants. Back then it was a grant, but it was a legal one. Like the law like is adapted to the native people of wherever the government is in place. Like if the government is a white man, like then white man gonna have a good time in this jurisdiction.
Yeah,
it's just like that. So like it's gonna affect everything. Like the person that's in charge of the culture in Quebec is some white lady, bro. Like to be real with you, like I got love for her. Like she come to my shows, I blow her a kiss, but she is not gonna care about me unless her kids care about me. So then,
yeah, it's fact.
So I don't care about her no more either. So, but it's like the labels and the government is saying our label is Quebec. Quebec is the label, but in the States, everything is privately owned. Just like even the electricity, like the electricity is privately owned. Just like here, Quebec owns the electricity. So
is that why you kind of made French music at one point?
Yeah.
It was specifically just to like tap into the market?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was money. It was about money. It was absolutely about nothing else. It was absolutely about money.
It wasn't about the art anymore at that point, eh?
It was nothing of it was about the art. It was about like ego fully. It was an ego trip.
Did that at least like allow you to find your style a bit better? Like from trying different like music in a different language, for example?
Well, my first language is French.
Okay.
I spoke French a lot, but then it's kind of, when you almost speak a different language from moving and stuff, you kind of almost either upgrade yourself or just question yourself. Like you don't know if it's truly you or if it's the new you. Because things happen, the environment that I'm in, like, the West was Anglophone as hell, and then I had a job with just English everywhere.
Yeah.
Then after that, like I did videos with like French people, like des Québécois. Then I also did stuff with like Anglophones, and it's really interesting to see like the switch. Like some of those Anglophones sometimes can be very uncomfortable in those like Quebec situation, at Shawinigan type shit.
Yeah.
But me,
What are you filming in Shawinigan?
A video I have called Paranoia. Like we shot that in Shawinigan because like I'm in Champ Région aussi, like beaucoup. Like I have a lot of love in the région and shit, so I get it. Like
right.
En région ça fonctionne. Like I'm in Sherbrooke, I'm in Quebec City, I'm in Rouyn-Noranda. Like I live over there, so.
Do you have a fan base there and stuff too? Like,
yeah, man.
Okay, sick.
It's interesting. I didn't know, but I kind of knew because I went there all the time. Like I went on vacation and stuff there.
Right.
So I'm a road trip type of guy. So
what do you do on vacation there? Like, what do you do there?
Quebec's fait rien, man. You sit down, you talk, you drink, you smoke, you laugh, you eat.
So are you like outsourcing like a videographer and stuff, or are you still doing that you can't do it yourself?
See, that's where the game got me.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't set up a tripod. I mean, you can, but like it's not the same. Yeah.
When they start having like literally like face lock with the drone, it's gonna be over.
They already have that though.
Oh, they have that?
Bro, I just saw a TikTok where they like cropped out Elon Musk saying like you could create
form of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones and having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person they're looking for, ram into them and explode. You can do that right now. No new technology is needed. right now.
It's so casually too. You know, we have technology to like be able to do like Black Mirror shit right now. You know.
You just tell. That's why I think that's really interesting and hilarious about that guy.
Yeah.
I think really something I noticed is that social classes changes everything. Like when like someone grows up poor, they have a different perspective of everything. Like they don't really give a fuck about race. They just grew up poor.
Especially in Canada, like you're going to high school, like public high school, you're growing up with like every race.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You do grow up like that's why like the young people in those, you know, in some of those places that's what's important. I guess that's the same message like Travis Scott like shows from like Houston and stuff like that. Houston is definitely one of those cities. It's like Houston is almost like because it's Texas is like Quebec basically. Like
oh yeah,
look, I find just because you know. Just because. But it's just like a suburb city like Montreal. Like Montreal, the center is like it's insane, the center. Like we call everything that's past like sources downtown. Like no, past Quartierville, we call it downtown.
Yeah,
when you're in the west.
I would say Quartierville, yeah.
Yeah, like us, that's how we call it. Yeah, it's all downtown. But then when you're over there, they call this Côte des Neiges, this is NDG, this is like Plateau, this is Outremont.
Yeah.
Like everything is a different neighborhood, and like that's what like the law talks about, like them fucking voting and shit like that. They talk about bike lanes. You know, nobody's putting a bike lane in the west. Like it's just because in Europe it's like that. Like downtown, you can't go. Forget bringing a car.
Yeah, because we're trying to keep that reputation of the European like city of Canada. You know.
Yeah. I'm happy they're proud of their colonization. I'm happy they're proud.
What made you choose audio engineering? Like
I want to stay in music, and I needed to like get a job. And I was like, yo, if I go in audio, actually I was in Vanier, and I went to Vanier for girls, to be honest with you. I thought like I was gonna have such a wild experience and shit. Not a great time actually. Like back in the day, nobody gave a fuck about like this kind of artistic, like wannabe sound engineer type of shit. Now it's cool, like you know, you could use that to create a personality. Back then when I did that, I'm telling you that Vanier did not give me any girls at all. Like so that's why I went, but I was at a break in school, and I was just walking, and I saw they had a studio with audio engineering, and the info session was going on at the moment I was there. Right. So I was like, what the fuck, this is a sign from God. And then I went, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Then my mom was like, nah, you sure you want to do this? Because I was straight out of high school. So she said no. And then I went to work at Wendy's. I stacked up some money from Wendy's, and then eventually I bought a laptop. And I said, you know what, fuck it. And then I had enough money to buy a laptop, and then I got another job to pay the second deposit because the program was like $8,000 or some shit like that.
Okay, for the program itself.
Yeah, so I got a job. Like I was just working.
Yeah.
Now we're here, really. Yeah.
Do you recommend that program for like, because like you know how you can learn shit off YouTube now?
Yeah.
But even knowing that, do you think it's still worth investing in that program?
Oof. No.
It doesn't even give you like a structure or anything? Like,
no, it's outdated as fuck. I'm sorry to let them know that, but that shit is outdated as fuck. But it's just like, if you want to be like, because being a music nerd is like, you could be the best music nerd and be broke as fuck. Like, you never make no money, especially here. Like, yo, it's not the right place to do it. Like, but if you do it here and you're ready to leave, like you could do that because then you become a music professional. But is it worth the economy that we're in right now? Fuck no. Fuck no, yo. Go on Fiverr, learn all day long if you can. Like in the economy we're in, it's not worth it at all. At all.
That's a common thing I hear from artists. Like their plan is always to leave the city.
Yeah.
But like, don't you think? Oh, I guess right now this situation is like pretty shitty here. But do you think with time there is an opportunity to put this city on the map in a certain way, where like artists are kind of proud to be from Montreal and representing Montreal, you know? Because we have a lot of like creativity here and a lot of talented people here.
Yeah.
It's just weird that people don't showcase it publicly, you know?
People are haters here, man. It's the loser mentality. It's misery. Like when everybody's like miserable from some shit, it's really hard to get it out of it. Like Montreal is like Haiti, like because Haiti is a tough town getting shit done, but like the government is not helping it. And Montreal has a lot of difficulties getting shit done, but the government is not helping it. So it's like really some of the best art that comes out of any of those cities is the immigrants that come there. Okay,
Yeah.
and the thing is that those immigrants sometimes have kids here. Like me, I'm born here, so I'm not even an immigrant. My passport says Montreal, bro. So the fact that I still have a trouble going on is because I understand the systematic problem that's going on. Like some of the like shit that's supposed to be mind blowing was just government plays. Like, and they did that with rap here. Like everything they did that with rap. So like really, the government in place is doing that.
What do you mean by that? They did that with rap.
Cause rap is like every time they didn't consider rap as a real genre when I grew up here. Like it wasn't true to them. Rap was just like this thing these Americans do.
Right.
Puis là maintenant c'est rendu le gay rap ici, and the thing became so hot in the streets that then the people who had straight up access to the government did their own version of it. And then that created this crab is in the bucket type of mentality for everybody down there that don't know that it's the feds that's doing that. And the feds don't care, bro. It's all about money, like, but it's just like they do it to the people.
It's monetizable, so they're like on it right away.
Yeah, and it's not the first time they do that with hip hop. Like you heard about organizing, like literally, like hip hop happens and then they open new offices in police, and they're doing it here too. There's new police fucking shit that happen as soon as rappers start doing good. So then really, like, I'm like, there's a way for that to happen for rappers from here to love themselves, to love their city and shit like that.
But like, do you think violence increases from like the promotion of it in certain like cultures like that? Or do you think we're just seeing more of it now because of like things like MTL Flex and like all these Instagram channels? You know what I mean?
Both, yeah, it's for sure seeing it more because we're seeing it, but
Yeah.
it's still, the difference is just like, what motivates it now, right? Back then it was shit. It was just shows you, you know, sometimes it's just social shit and environment shit. Because it's like, yo, the same, there's a lot of violence in Toronto back in the day, but we just wasn't on Instagram seeing it a lot.
I feel like in Montreal, it's only recently where you start hearing about shootings and stuff. But I don't know if that's just me not hearing about it or like because of Instagram, or like I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, or if it's happening more. That's a good question. I don't know. Personally, I'm blaming SBVM for all that shit, man. I feel like they're doing that. And then they're saying that the young niggas are doing it. But they also is what they do. But that's just me thinking that. I just think that they do that because that's in their favor, man, to do that. They just, instead of giving more money to the rap, they're gonna give it more to the police. They could give all that money to the rap. They could. But instead, they're gonna keep it. So keep it there.
It is a form of control, I get it, yeah.
Like they could literally like, yo, I've seen movies with police officers shooting someone and then being like, I need backup. So I need, so this supposed to faire ici, the same shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking like they might be doing that and we don't know, man. You can't trust them the same way they, you know.
Yeah, and you never see the whole story online either. Like it's always like one-sided in a sense, you know?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And then like, you know, now they can't do shit no more because you have, like you said, pages, but those pages now give you that side. But then like you'll see something in the news that
but
makes
even
no
pages,
sense.
bro. Like I see like even on MTL Flex or obviously MTL Blog is like the main one where you could tell that certain things are like paid to be put on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like certain things with news and stuff, it's like because they have that's so much like control over, not even control over like thought processes these channels have, and it's like super powerful.
That's the same medium that happened before. I think now just with idea of social media we think, but now the government got that too. Like now you try to post something and see if like there's not scanning. You said like, you know, face recognition, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now really the freest world is the one without any sort of thing that's connected to electricity.
So you were saying if you were able to have like something with face recognition, you would just want to film your own shit if you're able to?
I would do it 1-2 times just to like for the flex, you know, just be like, yo, this video. Because I remember I was in France and I saw a guy like he was doing a video, right? And he had the camera on the Steadicam and he was controlling it with his phone. Like he was doing this and the camera was moving with his phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, okay. So for sure give a cool effect, but
yeah, there's a lot of creative ways of like doing things like that, but it's obviously easier to have a team because your quality of work is always better. Like I had certain projects where I did on my own versus projects that I've done with a team. It's way easier, and like as long as you control the team properly, like you're chilling, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Like really, one of the videos I did is like 2 of them actually. It's a homie of mine, and he's good people. Like he's a lot of time they guide me behind the camera. Like the video is happening, we're filming, and he's saying, okay, take it to that level. All right, like this, like he's giving me cues because it's like acting basically.
Yeah, you have to be a good director for sure.
Yeah, so he was good, and even listening to people's ideas, like, you think we should do that? Okay, like he's amazing. It's Alex Pelletier, he's good people. Like he listens to people and he really says, you have an idea for that? Let's see. You don't want to? All right. Like he's good at that. So then you have the right people in the team, then you don't even have to just, everybody.
Yeah, that's for sure. If they're open-minded, they're good. Like for sure, they're talented.
For sure. Like,
they're open-minded enough to see other ideas. Do you think the language barrier is a problem? Everybody knows that.
Here or just in the world?
Just here.
Yeah, here is stupid.
Because there is a French market for artists.
Yeah.
But it just makes more sense to have English content come out of here because I feel like it's more relatable internationally.
Yeah.
Like someone from like England, if he sees this podcast, for example, or like, and you're speaking in English, like it's more likely for the city to get more like marketing from that versus like only French content. You're automatically like splitting your demographic.
That's a fact. That language shit is some war shit.
Yeah,
it's like English and French is like two different colonies. And just all that is. It's like colonies and sectors and borders and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, yo, that French English shit, I didn't even know it was a real thing until me. I spoke English. It looked like the shit in the movies. So that's definitely that. There's a definitely better like marketing aspect to anything when it comes out of the United States all the time. It's a fact. But here, like, what stops Canada from being the United States? Canada is like the United States. It's not the United States only because there's Quebec. It's kind of like Quebec aspect changes everything. Like Quebec as a province changes the entire country. So that's why like I'm like, I'm at this point I became a third person. Like I'm born here, but like because of racial problems, man, like I don't join neither sides. So that's why I'm like, I understand their beef and I happen to just be like a spectator of it. Like
I think that's the best way.
Yeah. Like, you just, because I'm like, yo, you're right. But I'm like, yo, it's going to be difficult for you to do something in English at Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, bro. Like, I'm saying, like, overall, like, statistically wise, and even Rimouski, Chicout, all these places, you can't do that. Like, but then you go out
But you
west.
can if you wanted to. That's
Chicout?
You can technically because you could rap in French.
Oh, yeah. Me personally, I can. But, like, most people can't go to Chicout. You think Drake is going to Chicout?
No, that's not happening. But people from there would see Drake.
No, they don't give a fuck.
No,
they don't care. It's more of the other side thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Weeknd don't go to Quebec City.
No,
like,
true.
Like
it's true.
And it's like,
and they kind of don't even want to. Like they don't even care.
That's where like it's like literally the United States from Toronto is like an hour, not even an hour from London, Ontario. Michigan is the other side of the water. Like it's not even like Cleveland is 3 hours away from Toronto. So like. It's just that border is like that. It's not like, we're not that far from the States.
Yeah. We're right there,
Yeah, we just lost, man. We just think, we just lost.
So you're kind of saying it's like there's like a no coming back. Like lose hope.
But, well, unless the United States gets mad as fuck and colonize the entire like country of Canada and then we become, North America becomes only the United States.
Yeah.
Imagine that happens.
I mean, I would be down for that, honestly. We saw it with healthcare, like
it's gonna be crazy. I hope this never happens.
The reason why like Canada is having all these lockdowns and shit is because we have good healthcare here, right? So as soon as the pandemic started happening, what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna get scared and go to the hospital, and automatically the hospitals are gonna be fully booked.
Wow.
And it's all like they don't have the money for that shit, So that's how they got fucked. And they're like, fuck, we didn't know what to do. Let's like tell people to quarantine at home. But that made everything worse. People started protesting. Like,
nothing worked, huh?
So it kind of gave you an idea of, okay, free healthcare is nice and all, but when a pandemic happens, like, it's the worst fucking place to be in.
Yeah. You see how people in the big groups, you give them a lot of options.
Yeah. Can't do shit. Do you give yourself a quota of amount of music to release?
No. Like, I'm usually working on a project and then things happen in between. Like, I'm working on this really, really big project and it's like, it's taking me forever. So I'm just on Instagram bullshitting, like, showing memories of cool shit I did during the year, like, shit like that. Like, I'm not really promoting something because when I'm on Instagram promoting something, I'm there for that. Now I'm promoting that I'm working on something that's taking me a long time. And then eventually closer to the date, when I do more interviews and talks, I explain that it's coming soon. But no, I don't really have a quota. I just like 2021. I released so much shit. Like I don't even know how I did that. Like I look back and I was like, oh damn, that's what happened.
And it was all about just going with the flow and like you don't really have. Do you have a game plan at the beginning of the year? Like, do you give yourself like goals, or do you kind of just? Is it always just run and gun?
It always depends what's going on. You know,
Okay,
like
so it's like very like it all depends kind of.
yeah, it always fucking depends. The game is changing all the time. Like I was touring, so while I was touring, I needed almost like a project to have a reason. But that was a French project, right? When I was touring Quebec, so it's hilarious. I was doing a French project touring Quebec, on est là all the time. It was hilarious. It was awesome. It was hilarious. Like that's probably one of my best like tadas that I've ever done. Like sometimes I feel like
Is
like
that
a mime.
Is that the mime?
Yeah.
Like a mime. Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
you know?
Is that where you had the like Airbnb situation and then somebody did not know how to drive properly?
So I have a vaccine appointment schedule, and it's for the same date as that. Cause I'm like my first dose is supposed to be on the 28th,
Right.
and the 28th was when I was in Quebec City, the day before my album came out, 2 years ago.
Right.
That's when everything happened with the dude that literally like said, "Yo, let's stay in Quebec City," and then the car got towed and shit.
Yeah. Why did the car get towed? I want to.
Because these dudes, yo, to be honest with you, man, because my fucking. Yo, the homie was just acting stupid. He was acting really dumb. He was no, we're hanging out. Yeah, I'm not listening to you today, man. I'm tired of your shit, man. Yeah, and they ganged up on me.
Yeah.
And both these dudes were stupid. It's like, imagine when two guys were wrong, ganging up against you in the car when you're three
it's two
going
against
somewhere.
one. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what happened. It was 2 against 1, and then one didn't know how to drive. He didn't have his license. And he's talking.
Fuck.
It was crazy.
How did you guys get a car without a license? Whose car was it? He just had a car?
No, it was because my homie's like, yo, I get us a car, bro. After my work shift, we're gonna have the car. We get after his work shift, we're waiting for the car. We're late for sound check. The car that he gets in February is an Audi, nigga. Like a sedan Audi. Literally a sedan Audi. There's a snowstorm. And he drove it. Yeah, I'll be fine. Shut up. He's driving really fast. We get to Quebec City. I'm like, yo, we're doing a show. We're getting out. He's like, no, man, let's hang out. They parked it at the wrong place. They towed the fucking Audi. They towed the Audi in the snow, bro. And then I had to find where they towed it. And then
You gotta walk all the way there.
Yeah, we had to walk. Yo.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there once in Montreal, actually. I parked my car like somewhere you couldn't park, and then I went clubbing, and it came out, and it was gone. Just walking through the city, trying to figure out where your car is. Yeah. It was on Halloween too, and then there's just like a lineup of people in costumes just like yelling at the fucking tow people.
Okay, that's different. On Halloween, that makes no sense. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was just like a fucked up situation. Like,
on Halloween, it's not even snowing.
No, it wasn't snowing, but it was just it was like a fucked up situation. It was funny. As an artist nowadays, you have to be like you're saying, the game's changing, right? Yeah. So, do you ever think of creating like TikToks or like having like an online personality or a character aside from the music part?
Yeah, I feel like I used to more back at one point, but that's what's hilarious with it. It's kind of you build that fan base, and then when it's done, you leave it. You say, I bet I got that from probably at one point you saw all the biggest artists do Snapchats, like they're just using that platform.
Yeah,
so TikTok, I have a couple of TikToks there, so I do some of that stuff. I have vlogs from like 2 years ago. So
are you on YouTube like vlogging?
I used to.
Okay.
So I have 2 years of like vlogs from like 2 years ago. So if you binge watch the shit if you ever want to.
Okay, dope. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
If you ever want. See, this is why like, you can do it constantly forever, but you can just change what you're making. So the persona, I don't have one no more. No. But I think that's maybe makes me unique because I don't have it online. Yeah,
I think that's the best way of approaching it in a form that everything's changing. So you can never get upset about anything because you're like, yo, that's what it is. It's just always changing.
Yeah.
And just adapt, you know?
Yeah, it sucks, huh? Oh, I remember like Cinemagram or something like that. Cinemagram. See, you don't even know what this.
The Cinemagram. What is that? It's Vine.
Kinda. It was like a app where like the video went forward. It was like one of those short videos.
Okay, I think so. Yeah.
Cinemagram. I think it was Cinemagram with Cinegram or something like that.
Yeah.
It's over now, so TikTok, like I use it a little bit.
TikTok might be over too. That's why you gotta like build that fan base and like move it to like all your other platforms.
Yeah. People telling you have 1 million followers on TikTok, but TikTok is gross. Like you look at a video of an ass for like 5 seconds, TikTok clocks how long you watch that. And if you watch that more than another thing, it show you that more. And I was like, how?
You know, they even track your eyes now. Like they know how long you're looking at what part of the screen. That's why their algorithm is so good, and you can get sucked into that feed so quick because it just knows. Like it like knows you better than you know yourself. It's creepy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
That's why, like, you know how sometimes you're like stuck in that feed and you're like, yo, I'm gonna watch like one more video. I'm gonna watch one more video, and then you completely forgot that you said that. And then, like, you're like 20 videos and you're like, oh fuck, I'm still watching this, but you're still going. You're just still going.
That's weird. Yeah. Also, it's because it never stops too.
Yeah.
It's like the ching ching ching.
Exactly. Literally, 100%. Yeah. So what do you have coming up? Like, do you have anything coming up? Because you're doing a lot of interviews and shit right now. So.
Yeah. Like right now, really, like. To be real true, like I think right now, what's gonna happen mostly is the outsiders. Like I think people are gonna do the promotion for me for the next stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm doing something, but it's kind of a secret. But I know that because of like my accomplishments in the game and the city that I live in, like the loser crabs in the barrel mentality is gonna do the commercial like part for me. Like what's gonna make what I'm doing hot is the haters.
That's dope. I like that.
So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on the haters working on my project for me. Yeah.
So you're gonna see a lot of Instagram stories promoting you.
A little bit. A little bit.
Like, yo, I grew up with this guy, he's doing good shit.
Fuck this dude, man. He used to say this, man. He's fucking
I told him he'll make it.
Yo, shit like that. Shit like that,
Yeah, for
That's gonna
sure.
be good.
Bro, I'm excited. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I like to ask some of my guests that, just to be able to look back at this.
I see myself eating the best food. Like the best food. Like I don't know. In 5 years, I have to be eating something so good. I don't know why. I see my you know, back then I used to eat junior chicken for $3.25, $3.50 like all the time.
That's always gonna be there though. You're gonna have those random cravings
For sure.
when you're balling. Like I gotta go like get that junior chicken. You know?
Oh, for sure.
It's nostalgia.
It's the craving, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like I'm hungry and this is what I can get.
Right, 100%.
You know?
100%.
So it's like imagine you're hungry and then fuck man, McDonald's again.
Yeah.
You're gonna be mad. Like I'm thinking about myself just eating like something that I love eating at that moment of my life, you know. I see myself eating something good. Maybe that's the only thing I'm seeing my like comfortably, like sitting somewhere eating something amazing. That's where I see myself in 5 years.
Fire. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to see what you're gonna come up with. And again, appreciate you coming down, bro,
Much
on these
love.
early stages.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me. This is cool as hell. Like, for real.
Microphone pop too hard, we gotta stop the party. Dancing on me like I'm Rudolph. Oh no, I'm getting lady. I'ma need a piece of the pie when it's coming in. My stomach rumbling, my brain is troubling. Boom, boom, boom. And then I zoom, zoom, zoom. Well, I call back. I said soon, soon, soon. Where the fuck I'm going? I said moon, moon, moon. Baby, why you looking like a prune, prune, prune?